Hello and welcome to Strategy Sessions. Good evening, everyone. I hope that y'all have had a wonderful and fantastic Wednesday. I am so excited to share strategy sessions with everyone. Strategy Sessions is brought to you by Strategic Public Relations Consulting, which is supporting dreams, creating partnerships, and building brands within the community. So we're so excited to be before you today to talk about branding and branding better businesses. And what better individual to have this conversation with than Miss Deidre Carter herself. She is the owner of like 50,000 businesses. But today she's going to be talking to us from the lens of being the owner of Prime Sophistication Agency. Deidre has a really strong background in everything from paralegal services to job coaching to brand management. So I'm so excited to have her join us tonight. Make sure that if you have questions, that you post your questions in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Make sure you follow Strategic Public Relations Consulting on Facebook and Twitter, as well as Instagram. And then Deidre will also share her connectivity information towards the end so that you guys can make sure that you're keeping in contact with her because she's doing some amazing things in the Midlands community. So Deidre, welcome and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Heather, for having me on. I'm so excited to be on your platform. I am ready to dig in about business branding. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak to your people. So let's get into it.
All right. So, when you're talking about business branding, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you? Like when you're going through the process of figuring out how to map out a brand for a client, what is the
Mhm.
first thing that you do, or what is the first thing that you think of?
I kind of figure out like where are they now. Everybody starts off differently. Some people kind of have something like they already have their LLC, but don't know what else to do. And some people come in, they don't have anything at all. So it just depends on where they are and where they want to be. So for as far as planning out, like how far do you see yourself? What is the goal that you're trying to reach now? And let's work towards getting to that goal. So sometimes it could be um, they want to get more out there, like more promotion or more ways of branding themselves, or more legalizing their ways, or making sure that they have the structure correct. So that's the biggest things. Making sure they're legal, making sure they got their brand looking right and represented the way they want it to be represented, and the colors and all that good stuff, and then making sure that they're protecting themselves is the biggest thing for me, for sure.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you kind of need to have the legalities first and foremost,
Yes.
because it's really hard for you to operate in your fullest capacity
Right.
if you have legal issues, right? That's a distraction
Exactly.
from your
Exactly.
brand. Okay,
Some people
so
don't
when you talk
realize.
about,
Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
No, I
no,
was
go
just going
ahead.
to say some people don't realize how important it is for them to be legal. I think. I mean, now we're in 2021, but before, I mean, I'm not going to say people don't now, but it was like a lot of hustling going on. And so, a lot of us who became hustlers in a sense where we just starting this business out and we don't know what to do. We didn't know about legalizing it. And so now because we know better, we must do better. So we can't hustle always. We have to have some type of structure and make sure that we are legal if this is something that we're passionate and serious about. So legalizing the business is very important for you to get what you need to get out of it and reach those goals for sure. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So, one of the things that I think of when I think of legalizing businesses is, of course, having like a business plan or a business proposal. So,
Right.
when you're talking about legalizing your business and how that's a first step in identifying the brand of your business, what types of legalization are there?
First, of course, you know, filing it with the state, whatever state that you're in, filing it with the state to make sure that they know that you are a business being ran in that state. And then of course filing it with the IRS for tax purposes. You know, you got to make sure that you're filing your income with the government, and not hustling because hustle money don't go to the IRS. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to make sure that you being legit about your stuff, you know, make sure that you file, get your EIN number. It's nothing to be scared. I think people are scared of it. That's the biggest thing. They're scared to let the IRS know that they're making money. And it's not, I'm not saying that we're not making a lot of money. However, you plan to make a lot of money. And so you want to be on their radar just so they can see your growth or whatever. It just matters. So filing it with the IRS is important. And then as far as protecting your brand look, trademarking is important just so nobody can make profit off of what your design looks like, what your brand is representing, what who you are. You have to protect that. And then as far as taxes go, even with the state, you know, some people who are retail businesses or whatever, they need to have that license. Or if you are in an actual establishment, you need to have your business license. You know, just have all your licenses, certificates together so that, you know, you won't be questioned about what you're doing and why you're doing it and who you're representing and all that good stuff. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's why, when I was doing PR at first a few
Mhm.
years ago, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to do some freelance stuff. And I never
Right.
thought about the business aspects. But
Right.
when I made the decision last year that I was going to make my business legit, that is when
Mhm.
I was able to actually establish the business.
Right.
So, one of the things that you mentioned, I want to go back to is
Mhm.
like the color schemes and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
last week we had Eva Fusa from Eva Fusa Creative talk to everybody about their graphic design, their creative
Mhm.
design, and things of that nature. How important is it to have a clear and concise brand look?
Oh my God. To stand out and look different from others is important when it comes down to branding and coming up with a design or a look. You don't want to look like someone else. You want to be different, just unique in every way, shape, or form when it comes to your brand. Nobody else looks alike. We might offer the same type of services, but the brand is totally different. What I might give is different from what somebody else may give, and I want it to look like that too. Like I don't want my business to look like no one else's. For instance, none of my three brands look anything alike. They all have their own different color schemes, their own different look, their own different everything, because you want to separate it and you don't want anything to look like the other. You get what I'm saying? So colors are very important. Even the hex colors, like being very specific in what shade or color that it is important, especially when you want to keep it consistent throughout your website, your business cards, all that good stuff. It's very important to keep all of that consistent. And I know that's something that I even have to do for myself because my brand colors are navy and pink. Like I got it on right now. Those are my brand colors for Prime Sophistication. And so my business cards might have a different shade of navy than my website does or whatever. But you know, just to for do better than me and make sure all your color schemes or all your colors are exactly the same throughout or whatever. When you know better, you do better. But when you have somebody who don't know what they doing, hello.
Listen, that's when you call somebody like you, right?
Exactly. Like, listen, I was learning, so I got my website done by this guy, and he kind of like just threw something together for me because he really didn't want to do it in a sense, but he kind of just threw something together for me, and I didn't know any better. So now that I know better, it's like you got to make those changes to make sure that things are what you want it to be and make sure they're all consistent, basically.
That's a good point. One of the things that you mentioned, and I want to jump back to that. I'm sorry, you're just dropping like all these nuggets, and I want to make sure that we hit on everything. So you
Hmm.
talked about how you could be doing the same thing as somebody else, but what sticks out is your brand.
Hmm.
So how important or impactful is recognizing your own personal brand, and what role does that play when you're trying to build an actual business brand?
Just being yourself, honestly. And I always tell my clients, like, make sure that what you are putting out is what you want people to get from you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, make sure that whatever you yeah, whatever you're putting out to the masses, the colors, the you that represent the brand, make sure that it's something you want people to talk about, well, that you want, whatever the feedback that you're looking for, make sure you're putting that out to them. You get what I'm saying? So if you put out trash,
right.
you to say this is trash. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting out good stuff, they're gonna say, okay, she putting out good. If you got bad customers, you get what I'm saying? Like, whatever you put out, make sure that you're okay with it coming back. Like, this is the feedback that I want to get out of it. So if your brand is, you want to, like, I want to put out sophistication because that's the name of my business. So I have to be sophisticated. I can't be sophisticated but then be ratchet, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to make sense. Whatever you're putting out has to make sense to the people. And whatever your personal brand is, just make sure you're representing that well, and that's what you want to put out and get back. Those type of people you're going to be marketing to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get what you give out, you know? So they just have to be careful in that and knowing who they truly are. It's hard for you to promote a business when you don't even know yourself. You know, that a lot, that's, I think
Mm,
that's why a lot of people do trends or things that they see is popular because they don't really know themselves. They don't know their real passion. And so when you don't know what your real passion or purpose is, you just do anything and say, I'm going with the flow because I see everybody else making money off of it and doing it, and not really stepping into what is for you because you don't know yourself and your own passion.
mm.
Period.
Ooh, that's heavy. That is heavy.
It's a bad.
Listen, it's really hard, and I think that people don't think about like their own personal brand and how it starts with knowing who you are as a
Right.
person,
Yes.
and then from that point, you're then showing the world, right? Like what
Right.
they should expect from you, and
Exactly.
that's what public relations and brand management is all about. And I think that a lot of times people just kind of go for what they know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching something the other day, and there's an influencer who's up and coming and who is really getting a lot of like great publicity, doing great work, and didn't know that, they might need a publicist. Like you need
Right.
to maintain that public image and to manage the brand, not only just your personal brand, but also the brand of your business.
Facts. Exactly. This is so true. Not not many people want to spend time with themselves to get to know themselves, to put out whatever it is that they want people to see from them. They won't take the time to do so because they're always in a rush to get something in the right now, and sometimes things take time to manifest. Things take time to grow. People don't give themselves the opportunity for things to grow. They want, that's what the difference between hustlers and business owners for me, or whatever. Hustlers want things immediately right now, and business owners understand the long-term goal, and they makes decisions for long-term situations or whatever. And so when people understand that, okay, this is what I want to do for a long period of time, you're going to move about it differently. You're not going to move about it the same way because you know and see what it can be, and this is not something I'm about to do for 2 months and then move on. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, branding is important. um it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's nothing hard. And I think people make branding a hard thing to do. It's a chore, and not in a chore, but it's work. You know what I'm saying? To build your
Right.
brand up, to make a statement, to stick with it, to be consistent in it. It's a lot of work. And so when it comes down to the branding, people kind of get, and it's expensive. Like, don't get it twisted. You gotta have some money to invest in this branding thing. You gotta have a couple of dollars to get out what you need to get out. When it comes down to the legalizing, when it comes down to the graphics and the marketing, all of that costs, and you have to have a budget for it. All of that good stuff. So people just have to understand or know or have a plan. That's why I like to say, let's have a consultation, because let's get a plan together. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it out. Let's get your thoughts out. Let's let you figure it out. What do you really want to do, and make sure that happens. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to maintain the brand, but also be willing to invest in that brand. And
That
I
part.
think that a lot of times people don't want to hear the word investment, or they
Girl.
don't see marketing, PR, brand management as an
Right.
investment.
Right.
And then you start the shortchanging and that kind of thing. But it is understood that sometimes if you don't have it, you don't have it, right?
Right.
But you got to start somewhere.
That part. Do the
So
small
if
the bare minimum.
that's it, do the
That's it.
bare minimum. And there are resources that are out there for
Mhm.
people who need to, do things on the smaller scale, or not really people who don't have the opportunity to invest in themselves financially at a great level.
Mhm.
I did some research a while back and found that there are companies where, if they're seeing a downturn in their sales or anything like that, the first thing to go is that marketing and advertising budget.
Yep.
That's the first thing that they get rid of. But
Right.
that's the nail in the coffin
It
because
is.
you want people to
Growth.
see. Yeah,
You need the expansion. You need people to see what you offer so that you can get the money that you're looking for. So, I mean, well, what else would you put your money into if it's not going to be marketed? And I'm not going to even say, because I had a hard time with that. Like, literally this year, I was like, I have to do better with my marketing in a different way than I've been doing for the growth. And so, yes, marketing is definitely an investment. Yes, that's something that you like, dang, that's like another bill, but it's another bill to get you more money. When more people out of your small network can see what you're doing, it makes a whole lot of a difference. So yeah, I don't know why people are scared of investing. Um, that's the only way they're going to see the benefit, or from what they're doing and putting out, is if they invest. I don't see no way around it. I think some people, yes, you can get grants and stuff like that for businesses, but I'm a believer in hard work from the ground up. Like, there's nothing. Drake's my one of my favorite songs by Drake. It started from the bottom, now we're here, because literally, like, that's a accomplishment and a goal that you can sit up here and say, no one helped. Not saying no one helped me, but I did this by myself. Like, I really took the time to invest in my business, my passion. I didn't ask nobody to do it because nobody else understands why I'm doing it. So I can't expect for people to want to put something into something that they can't even see the vision. How can I expect that? You know what I'm saying? So I gotta put the money into it. I have to invest in myself and make sure I get my business off the ground, because nobody else is going to do it for me if I don't do it for myself. Like, that's something I say all the time. Nobody's going to do anything for you if you don't do it for yourself. And so, investing, yes, if you invest in yourself, why don't people will see that you put that work in, and they may want to invest in you later on, whether it's buying a product or just saying, hey, I want to donate or sow a seed to you, whatever the case may be. Like, they're going to do it because they see you doing it for yourself. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand why people are scared of investing their money. Um, you gotta spend money to make money. It's easy.
yeah. I mean, it's a thought that has been around for centuries, and that's
Facts.
something that people always forget about, like
Mhm.
that spending money to make money piece. So we talked about brands and how each brand is uniquely different.
Mhm.
So I want to pivot a little bit, and talk about your brands that you have. Now, for those of you who don't know, Deidre has, again, so many brands, but she does all of these things well. And that is hard to come by because people can put their hands in so many different things and not really have the capacity to be a jack of all trades or a Jill of
Right.
all trades. And so
Facts.
I'm pleased that Deidre has decided to join the SPRC family, and she is now a
Yes,
client.
God.
So we're
Girl,
working
I
on
need
some
you.
things for Deidre. Could you talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you've got in the fire right
Oh, girl. Okay. First of all, thank you so much for being my. I call you my marketing manager, because listen, when I say I need you for everything that I have going on, this is a fact. Like, I really do. Um, I have three different businesses. Prime Sophistication Agency is basically my first baby. I offer a lot of different services. We have a lot of different departments from career consulting. I do resumes and interview improvement and cover letters and reference lists and letters of interest, a resignation letter. You know, I don't want to be in any letter that you need or whatever you need as far as your career goes. I can help you with that. Prime branding is, me being a brand manager for multiple businesses from the ground up, from filing the LLCs and all that good stuff, or coordinating an event to promote their business or a service or whatever the case may be, connecting them with the right people for them to get what they need. That's what I do as a brand manager. And then we do graphics. I also manage two artists right now. One of my artists, my Asia Timmons, she has some new music coming out. She has a radio interview coming up this Friday with a D Hall on Facebook. So check her out and her new music coming out. That is not the bulk of Prime, but that is like the bulk of Prime styling. We do a lot of stuff at Prime. And so I just love to help people when it comes down to that, to help them succeed and grow to another level. I'm naturally a planner. I'm naturally a manager. I can't help myself. I just make sure that things are right where they're supposed to be. And so that's what Prime is all about. Then Deidre Monroe is my alter ego. She has been alive and well since 2009. And she was, I talk in third person. Deidre Monroe is talking third person because she is technically a totally different person. Anyway, so she is always talking junk. She is ratchet. She is vibrant, all of love. She love to have fun, all that good stuff. And she is a radio personality on WDRB Media. My radio show is every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. You can catch me on iHeartRadio. This month, I have been doing a series called about love and relationships with my besties, the Flamingos. And a show aired last night. You can find me on YouTube as well on D. Barry Monroe, and catch up on all my seasons. I'm on season 4, moving into season 5. And so I'm very excited about that. And D Berry also has drinks. She has a drink line called Day Drinks by D Berry, and you can find that on the website as well. I get all the information in a minute. And then my newest baby is the Sophisticated Home, which is going to be like a 3-part too. I love to have a subsector under my businesses. It's an umbrella situation. So the first part of the Sophisticated Home is Prime's laundry room. And it's really for anybody who does not have the time to do their own laundry like me. That is how the business was birthed. Honestly, I don't like to do my laundry. I don't like to wash it. I don't like to fold it. I don't want to do
Who
it.
does?
That is like the worst thing. And so one day I was picking up laundry from my mama house, and I think she complained about me having too many clothes. And so I was like, well, then I won't ask you to do it no more. And then the Lord was like, I said, maybe I could pay somebody to do my laundry. Like, boom, it came out like bing, 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 business. Like, that's how it came. And so I could not stop writing. And boom, here we are in January. I wrote that back in July. And I'm doing a trial run right now from now until March 30th before we launch. And Heather is going to help me with my launch. And so I really want to help people who don't have time to do their laundry, especially the elderly. So if those who have elderly parents or people who live in their homes that really don't have anybody to do certain things, they know how to do a lot of other stuff, day-to-day activities, but maybe laundry is one of those things that is kind of overwhelming for them. So Prime's Laundry Room can assist with that. Like, let us, take care of your laundry needs for you, and we'll pick them up for you and deliver them to you for an extra fee. Whatever you need, that's what that's about. The other two sections of the Sophisticated Home will be announced at a later date, but it is all about, helping your home be better, and look nice, and just make it easy for you. And that's about it. Oh, you can find me literally on all social networks, Prime Sophistication Agency on Facebook and Instagram, D. Barry Monroe on Snapchat. I am Deidre Monroe on Instagram, Deidre Monroe the brand on Instagram, the Sophisticated Home on Instagram and on Facebook. I think that is all. I think, and then my website is primesophisticationagency.com.
That
Yep.
sounds fun. Like while you were talking, I was like, let me make sure, as a marketing manager, let me make sure that we checking off everybody.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Um, so Deidre, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I so appreciate it. And
Thank you for having me.
your thoughts on brand management is a breath of fresh air. Sometimes people just need to hear
Yes.
to see you flourish and do well and everything else that you've got going on. And this is definitely going to be the first of many times that you guys see her appear on this platform. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I so appreciate you.
Thank you
And
for
for
having
all of
me,
our
Heather.
viewers, thank you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome anytime. To all of our viewers, just thank you guys so much for all that you have done to support Strategic Public Relations Consulting. This is just the beginning of some really great things, and I'm so glad to share these things, these great happenings with you guys. Join us next week where we will have one of my besties, Kiera Drayton, joining us. She is co-host of the On the Rocks podcast, and she's going to be talking to us about how to create an effective podcast program. So we thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as always, please remember to be strategic in everything you do. Have a good night.
Good night.